Hi, my name is Byron Barnes, and today I'll be talking to you about wheat farming in the Great Plains. So you might be asking yourself right now, what and where are the Great Plains? Well, the Great Plains are a major grassland region on the continental slope of North America. This region itself extends all the way from Canada through the western central United States, all the way into western Texas. The states that make up this region include Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Nebraska, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico. The United States grows about 1/8 of the world's wheat, and 2/3 of wheat production is in this area of the Great Plains. The most important crop in the Great Plains happens to be wheat. Out of all the states listed, Oklahoma tends to be a major producer of this crop. It has been grown in this area since it was introduced in the late 1870s by German Mennonite immigrants. Wheat is an important cash crop and is well suited for bread and flour making products. Indian tribes, such as the Cherokee, brought wheat culture with them from the south. It was also introduced into Oklahoma by Indian agents and by whites who married into tribes. The largest wheat farm in Oklahoma and Indian territories by 1900 was the Miller Brothers 101 Ranch. This covered 5,000 acres of wheat field and was located in present Kay and Noble counties. In much of Oklahoma and Kansas, drought has been a major problem. It wasn't until the 1960s, with the development of sprinkler irrigation, that this issue was finally conquered. Other problems on the grasslands include violent storms accompanied by high winds. It also included hail and tornadoes. Some of the hail pellets could have measured up to 5 centimeters in diameter and had the power to devastate a crop of mature, top-heavy wheat. Blizzards with wintry blasts intensifying the cold drove the snow into immense drifts. The hot, dry winds of summer parched the soil and sometimes carried it away in great billowing clouds of dust. Wind has been a mixed blessing on the Great Plains. Late spring and summer wind velocities on the central and southern plains are among the highest in interior America. In the past, this served to maximize the efficiency of windmills in this region. However, the persistent winds also mean that the amounts of moisture evaporated and transpired by plants is high across so much of this region. So now that you know some of the background information on the Great Plains, we're going to start talking about the physical production of the wheat crop itself. The primary type of wheat that's grown in the Great Plains is the red winter wheat. This is suitable to the region of the Great Plains because it doesn't require that much rainfall. Then the average rainfall in the Great Plains is actually only less than 35 inches per year. The soil and climate there are more conducive to growing wheat than other crops such as corn or even sorghum. This hard red winter wheat is planted in the early fall because soil temperatures in the early fall are reaching right at 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's perfect temperature for planting the wheat seed. In order to properly seed it, it requires prolonged exposure to the cold periods. And it flowers in late spring and early summer, and it ripens in June, July, and August, and that's when they're bringing all their crop in. The wheat itself does not produce well in warm, humid areas and matures best under dry conditions, which is ideal for the Great Plains because it has so little moisture levels. Today, the Great Plains is America's premier wheat-producing region, and is largely on the abundances of the plains agriculture that the United States is the world's top wheat exporter. Wheat remains a dominant cash crop in the state of Oklahoma. In 2004, state's farms produced almost 11% of the nation's winter wheat crop, second in the United States, and almost 8% of all wheat produced, fourth in the entire nation. One of the major problems that affects the production of wheat is storage and irrigation. Increased competition from truck haulings has forced the railroads to more or less abandon smaller storage facilities in favor of much larger ones. Most wheat from this area moves through a barge system on the Mississippi River. When it comes to the irrigating this region, aquifers are used to supply much of the water that is needed. One of the most well-known aquifers is the Ogallala aquifer, which supplies Colorado, Nebraska, and Texas. It contains around 2 billion acre-feet of water. Water sources such as this aquifer are needed in order to keep a steady production of this major cash crop in the Great Plains. So in conclusion, I hope you've come to realize how important the wheat crop is to the Great Plains. As important as it is, we have also learned how difficult it is to sustain. Through drought, transportation, and storage issues, wheat is not an easy product to steadily maintain. Although easier today than long ago, the production of wheat continues to be a major factor in the growth and well-being of America's Great Plains. This concludes another lesson on the geography of the United States. Thank you.